Hi everyone, my name is Dimitrios Tsekouras. I'm a senior lecturer at RSM, but I'm also the academic director of the Master of Business Information Management, BIM. So let's start watching the video then.
Alright, so hi, my name is Nick. I'm 24 years old. I'm from the Netherlands and I study BIM.
And I'm Hailey. I'm from Vietnam, 19 years old and second year IBA student. So let's get started.
Sure.
Okay, first question. Who is this master for? Well, I think it would be for someone who has completed their bachelor's student and want to see the relationship between business and information management and their applications. Is that right?
Yeah, that's actually pretty good. Yeah, it's like for people who want to combine like their technical skills into as well as the business side of an organization. So to translate like data and information goods to a strategical like way that the company needs to go into. That's a pretty good one. And of course you need a bachelor too.
Okay.
Okay, I think that pretty much sums it up. I would say BIM is for students who are excited about technology and data. So in BIM we have two tracks. We have the track of digital business and the track of data science. So we develop, or we allow students to develop both foundations, and then in the electives they can pick their own specialization. So we teach a lot of things about how information can be used as a strategic asset within and outside the boundaries of a company, what CIOs are thinking about, but also more technical side, as how can you translate a business idea to a technical drawing that you can ask your programmers to program it. You learn about the whole life science of data science. So that's a unique combination of these two aspects. Let's move further.
So what is the teaching format?
So in the first semester you have you just have your core courses. So you have 6 courses in total. And then in the second semester you have your thesis, and then you can also choose 3 electives. So you have 3 blocks and 1 elective each block. And then in those electives you have the digital business track, which is more towards the digital business side, and then the data science track, which is more technical. Yeah, you can combine that with a company project or even electives from other masters. So if you're like interested in other masters, you can also do those.
Okay.
It's pretty cool.
Okay, so
Okay, yeah, I think in terms of structure of the curriculum, that's about right. I have to say, I'm going to talk a bit about our focus from an educational perspective. So technology is in the core of BIM. Well, we teach about digital technologies, so we sort of want to always practice what we preach. BIM actually was a proponent of digitization of education even before COVID. So we had the first digital exams, first online courses even before COVID. And with COVID we understood that, well, this is something that is here to stay, right? So we saw a lot of advantages. So technology is always an essential component. The workload is kind of split between individual work and group work. There are some exams, especially in the core courses, because of the size of the cohort. But then when we move to electives, it's mostly project-based. And one very interesting component or aspect of BIM is that we're in close contact with companies in different formats, ranging from just guest sessions to entire company challenges to we're also one of the programs that allow for full-time internship to replace one of the electives. So then you can focus 100% for one of the blocks to write your thesis. So a lot of our thesis projects are actually done with companies, and this makes it very interesting for students. Let's go to the next question.
third question. Can I combine work with this program? But I suppose yes, but it should not be a full-time work, or else it will like correlate with your studies.
Yeah, so it is a full-time program, so you need 60 ECTS. So it will be difficult to combine with a full-time job. I work like 3 days a week or 2, and it's pretty good to combine. I know some people who also do a full-time job, but they don't have a lot of spare time. Like their
Yeah.
weekends are pretty full. So it is possible, but I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's also right. So on paper, this is a full-time program. So you're expected to work full-time as a student studying this program. But we're not myopic, right? So we see that, well, we're in a business school, our students are really in close connection with businesses. So a lot of students, a lot of BIM students are working part-time. I think full-time will be challenging. Even part-time might be challenging in some periods that are kind of study intensive. But in the end of the day, it's also, your own choice how you want to spend your time. You can always, study more in the evenings or in the weekends. So I think part-time work is possible. Keep in mind that some periods are a bit more intensive than others, so you need to be a bit versatile in how you allocate your time. Okay?
Fourth question. What are the career prospects? Well, I don't know.
No? Okay. Can you guess?
Maybe that data analyst or like business digital business manager, like something along this line.
Yeah, you can do like a lot of things. Like those two things you said, you can be like a data analyst. There's a lot of jobs in consultancy as well, because you have the skills to translate like data to business side of things. Like a digital manager, something with like a digital transformation in that aspect. Anything to do with data or information, basically. They're just like quite a lot, and everyone keeps saying, like all the professors, that BIM opens like a lot of doors for you in the job market. So
Yeah.
and all the alumni that we had are very varied and everything. So it's quite interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, if we look at the recent data, we see that 98% of graduates are employed within 3 months after graduation. Many even before graduating, so we have a lot of cases like that. When we actually had a close look at the alumni over the last few years, we kind of saw that there are 5 different clusters of career paths that our BIM graduates are following. The first, and I think it's one of the largest ones, is consulting. So we have a lot of alumni as digital consultants or data analytics consultants, IT or cybersecurity consultants. The second, also equally large pillar, is data science. So we have a lot of graduates working as data scientists, data engineers, but also as heads of or directors of an entire data science department. The third pillar would be more management positions. So we have a lot of graduates that end up as product managers or account managers, even marketing managers, especially as more firms are moving into digital business. We have technology careers as software engineers or RPA developers and architects. And finally, we have entrepreneurs. So we have a lot of successful BIM startups from BIM graduates. And we have seen a small part that stays in academia and work as researchers.
So, what makes this master at RSM unique? Well, based on my first impression, I think it is like you can enjoy the best of both worlds. You can also study the business prospects and also the concepts about information and technology and stuff. Is that right?
Yeah, I think it's the only master program at RSM that combines like this technical side and this business side. So I think that's what makes it really unique, to have both of those skills.
Okay, nice.
Actually, it's not only one of the few master programs in RSM, but also it's one of the few programs in Europe that are in the intersection of digital technology and data science. And that makes it a very kind of unique proposition. One other unique component is that it's a very research-active program, very research-active faculty that are experts in their own field. There's a variation in the backgrounds that teachers have, ranging from information systems, economics, computer science, sociology, marketing, and so on. And our graduates have this unique skill of understanding the firm both from a management but also a technical perspective. So they're able to equally talk to management teams but also data science teams.
Okay, so longest question. How does this program contribute to creating positive change? I think with this program, the students, like the graduates, can become like entrepreneurs and start their own company with their vision to help the society, something like that. How about you?
I think that's like quite a good take, actually. I think because it helps people like combine both of those aspects of the job market and really create like not super people in the workspace, but like people who are like really needed into today's job market. But I really don't know for sure.
Yeah, same.
So
The way I say it is that digital transformation is happening across all industries, and it requires people that have the capacity and the knowledge to drive this transformation. And the way we see is that BIM graduates are the ones who will drive this transformation. We try to employ our graduates with a lot of different skills, so the management and technical skills, but we try to kind of let them develop as leaders who are critical, ethical, principled, eager to innovate, but also have a thirst for knowledge. And all these values can serve as the foundation for a very bright future for the next generations.
Okay, so another long question.
all of these are way longer.
So how does this master compare to RSM's Business Analytics and Management program? I don't know.
This is actually the most asked question ever. And the program, of course, the program director, he answered it last weekend at the Masters Open Day. He said that BAM, or Business Analytics Management, is BIM, but BIM is not BAM. And it means that what he tried to say was that like Business Analytics Management is really focused on, well, as the name suggests, on the analytics side of things. So that's really where the focus of the curriculum and the program lies. And BIM has some analytics in the course, but it goes much broader, where you do like a lot of different things as well, more like managing information goods and managing data and how to translate that into a business side of things. I think BAM is more like specifically focused on one topic, while BIM is more broad in a general way, and I think that's the main difference between the two.
I have to say that both BIM and BAM are great programs, and actually BIM faculty is also involved in teaching BAM. We're involved in developing the program as well. So the way I see it, if someone is interested purely in analytics and methods across a range of contexts, as ranging from marketing, accounting, finance, supply chain, BAM is a great fit. One of the tracks that we offer at BIM is also data science. So we cover the foundation of all the necessary skills when it comes to data analytics. So you master all these skills, but we focus on the context of digital business. We want to develop graduates that are not just data analysts, but actually move forward into lead an entire department of data science, for example. And to do that, you need to be able to understand the business side of things. So you need to master all the necessary methods, but you need to understand how can you make strategic decisions? How can you, what are the different processes within a firm? And you need to have an understanding of how can you translate insights from a data analysis into impactful strategic decisions.
Oh, this one is shorter.
Yeah.
I am new to IT and data studies. Can I still succeed in this master? I think like that is possible because we will also be talked about IT and data studies, right?
Yeah. So I come from a bachelor at the University of Applied Sciences, where I had no IT or data skills at all, and I'm doing fine in the studies now. I think you don't need any like prior experience in programming or data science or anything, because most of the courses, they start from the point of view that everyone has zero knowledge, everyone is new, and they go from that. And so maybe if you have like zero knowledge, you need to work a little bit harder to catch up on things. But in general, you don't need any skills. And then in the second semester, you can always choose the digital business electives if you don't want to do like programming in Python or data science and deep learning and everything. So it's very, very much possible to do.
Yeah, but did you have to take like a pre-master course beforehand?
I did, yeah, but we didn't. We only learned R, which you do in your bachelor's.
I already
right?
learned R.
Yeah.
Like 2 times.
Yeah, so the assumption is that we assume that you know nothing, pretty much. So we try to teach you in some part, even if it's a refresher. You know, we offer it to all our students. So you don't need to know how to code in advance, but you need to be open and excited about learning how to code, right? So learning about new technologies, learning about IT artifacts. Because I think coding is also a very strong asset in your careers. So you need to understand the basic principles of coding, so the basic foundations of IT, to be able to lead future businesses.
Okay, so the longest one. Is it true that most business information management graduates find a job before graduation? Is that right?
I think it is, because a lot of people do their thesis at a company, and there's also a lot of like the Star Management Week that was going on. So there's like a lot of opportunities to find a job before graduating. I don't know like the exact numbers, but I think it's true that a lot of students already have a job before they graduate from BIM.
So as I said earlier, 98% of our graduates find a job within 3 months. This is the official information we have. But many actually find before graduating. We don't have the numbers, but we've talked to many of our students that already during spring they have landed a job, either via their internship with their thesis, or just based on some recruiting events from Starboard or the Tech Lab and so on. Okay, yeah, so overall I think that if you're excited about digital technologies, but also about the data side of things, so data science, BIM is a great fit because it would unlock a lot of doors towards these directions, so that we can offer the foundations of both the management side and the technical side of digital businesses, which is also the future of all industries pretty much. And then you can decide what kind of path do you want to pursue. So yeah, looking forward to see many of you in our classrooms.